Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 9 of the Battered Mets Fan Podcast. I'm your host, Manny, aka Primo, alongside with me, Mr. Ronnie Diaz. How we feeling, sir?
We're feeling good. We're feeling good. How about yourself?
I mean, I feel great. I don't see it in your tone of voice or in your in your face right now that we're coming off a sweep of the Miami Marlins. And as great as that sounds, we both agreed we wish it happened last weekend, right? Carry the
Yes.
momentum from the Yankees in the National Series. But regardless, we sweep the Miami Marlins. We finished May on a high note, I guess you could say. We finished with a record of 16-12. Record right now is 26-33. And for what it's worth, we're not in sole position of last place in the NL East. A lot of positives to take out of the weekend. So let's just get right to it. Uh, our biggest thing going to the weekend, Ronnie, what do we say from last episode? We circled the starting of Nolan McLean. He
Yeah.
needed to show us that he's able to, get back to what we thought of him as, we're comparing him to his stats, at least, to Tom Seaver and DeGrom, and we hope that he could become one. Uh, didn't look like dominant pitcher that we were used to seeing him from the last couple of outings, but it wasn't a terrible start either. So I'll take it. I had asked for I asked for what 4 to 5 innings of just not giving up runs, just trying to be in control, and it kind of felt that way. It is a bit concerning though that he is walking people still. He doesn't seem like he's in full control of his pitches, but he didn't give up a lot of runs. And I know it's the Miami Marlins, but he was able to have a decent outing. What are your thoughts on from that, Ronnie?
Yeah. It's. I wish we could have gotten more from him, but it's a slow. It's an upside for him, considering what happened his previous two starts. I think we were hard on him, and rightfully so. I don't think we were the only ones that were hard on him. But he did have an upside yesterday. The only thing I am gonna say, and I'm gonna critique, is that he gave up 5 walks.
Yeah,
That's too many
yeah,
walks in 5 innings.
and he hit a
Uh,
guy.
and he hit a guy. Yeah, that led to, I believe, the sole Marlin run in that inning. Was no, he actually got out of that.
He got out of
Yeah,
it.
he got, it was in the first inning, I believe.
Yeah,
But needless to say, the series looked great for the Mets. I think that the offense continues to produce, and Soto is very hot.
oh my goodness.
And the pitchers combined for a 2.25 series ERA with 29 strikeouts, which is very huge.
Yes,
Like you mentioned, I wish that would have happened the weekend before, but
yes.
beggars can't be choosers. Different outlook this week than we had last week. It's false hope, I want to say. I'm going to put the brakes on when it comes to saying that we're back. I don't think we're back just yet. I believe I told you and the guys in the group chat that it would have been sweet if they would have swept last weekend,
It had to
but
happen. It
but
had to happen
for
last weekend.
but if they go on a 10 game winning streak, I'll take that.
Oh,
I'll
that would be
100% take that.
amazing, especially with what's coming up in June, which we're gonna get to. Especially what's coming up in June, 10 game win streak would be incredible. That would definitely change the team. I'm with you. This is not an episode to say, oh, we're back. We're still 7 games under, and it looks manageable. But 16-12 in May, and that was against opponents that we should not be losing 12 games to, if we're going to be honest with our roster. Coming into June, we're going to play every single series from here on out or against opponents that have an over 500 winning record. So we're playing against above average teams to legitimate, maybe World Series opponents.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tall task, a lot for the Mets. But I will say, sweeping the Marlins, it's okay to smile. It's okay. At the end of
Mm.
the day, we are fans. We like to see our team win. And it's not a flex or anything like that. I mean, it is the Miami Marlins, and we did take care of business. So it's okay to smile and it's okay to be happy in these moments. But like you said, and I will double down on that. This is not a point where we say, "Yep, we're back," and we give the false. We're delusional fans. We'll admit it. But it's good to have delusion because it's gonna keep you in the series and locked in and just watching these games, just hoping for anything. Um, so all in all, awesome. Juan Soto is looking like an MVP candidate right now. He is on fire.
Yeah.
He is on fire. He's on another level. And you could tell that in this series, it was contagious. It was very contagious. Everybody was having a knack at it. And another thing I want to praise, Ronnie. I know if you're a Marlins fan, you have you're just sick to your stomach watching Ewing and Benj playing defense this last series. Did you see their plays, Ronnie? They were stealing doubles, extra base hits. They were just taking everything from the Marlins. It was you couldn't hit to them. You couldn't hit to center. You couldn't hit to right field at all. You had to stay away.
Yeah.
Credit to them as well. And you gotta love also the press conference. What Juan Soto said. He said that they are psychopaths. You love that. I love that so much. I'm not gonna do it. That's his episode with the Lindor and all that stuff. I'm not gonna do it. But I did say, does Juan Soto care? And you know what? That press conference and the way he was, his attitude, just talking about the young guys, I loved it, man. Like I was like, yeah, I don't know why I asked that. I just had to make sure. I feel like he watched it and he had to, send a little message to me as well, and I appreciate that. So high vibes. We're going to Seattle now. The time is recording. They're about an hour away from first pitch. Ronnie, real quick, before we give out the awards, actually for Miami Marlins, real quick, what do you think about the Seattle series? Do you think we take it, or do you think it's not going to be a good look for us?
I want to be optimistic and say we'll take 2 out of 3, but factoring in what happened over the last couple of weeks, it's going to be tough. This is going to be a very rough stretch for the Mets in June, and it's going to be the do or die. If we can get as close as to hovering over 500 at the end of this month, I
That'll
think
be incredible.
they'll be in a pretty good spot. But it
Hmm.
all starts with tonight. Like you said, an hour away from now. Everybody's
Hmm.
playing well. Everybody played well this last series, except for Peralta. Even David Peterson, he threw 4 scoreless innings yesterday to close out the
And
game. I think
yeah,
they gave him the save,
yeah, I think so. I
and
think
the Mets
right.
were up
Yeah,
like
he did.
yeah, they were up by like 5 runs when he came in the
Yeah,
game. So even he looked great yesterday. So I think I like him better coming in as a long reliever in the fifth or sixth in later innings later on
yeah.
during the ball game than early on. Needless to say, what's it called? With that being said, if Soto continues taking charge and continues to lead that ball club, I think that the Mets can easily take 2 from 3. I'm not gonna say sweep because every time I say a sweep, they end up
We
getting
get
swept.
swept.
And they're gonna play in Seattle, and
That's a
yeah,
tough team.
it's
That's
a
a
tough
tough
team.
team. We got to go get it. Juan Soto definitely needs to lead the charge. He's going to have to be the spark on offense no matter what. And the other
Hmm.
guys, we got to see what they're going to do. Interesting to see what's going to happen with the bullpen. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, Warren and I forget his name already. Brazoban. Oof, can't forget his name. Brazoban and Warren are legitimately like amazing bullpen pieces
Hmm.
to our roster.
Yeah.
You had mentioned Freddie Peralta. I'll say it now before I get my thoughts on the Seattle, real quick. You had mentioned that Freddie Peralta is getting on your nerves, and that Freddie Peralta, like you're kind of out on him.
Hmm.
Well, on Friday he did not have an ace outing, or he was not the guy we expect to be, which again you had alluded to. Because the bullpen had to come in early into that game, we had to actually option Tobias Myers down to AAA to get a new arm, a fresh arm. And unfortunately, this is all on Peralta because we expect a lot from you, man. And we invested our essential future pieces for this guy. And he has not been what we hoped at all. The ace in, Milwaukee, the top 3 pitcher, like a Cy Young candidate. He has not been that for us at all. And now it's starting to cost his teammates spots on the roster because our bullpen's tired. This back-to-back bullpen outings, this can't be a constant thing. These guys are gonna be gassed out by August, or we're gonna have to keep doing this thing where we have to drop guys and they gotta wait 2 weeks, or you gotta hope for an injury for him to come back, which no one's gonna ask for an injury. No one's gonna do that. So just that'll be my Kepena award if I'm gonna be honest with you, is Freddie
Hmm.
Peralta. I mean, and against Miami Marlins of all teams, like, come on, man. Like, you need to do better. And like, I have nothing else. I'm with you, Ronnie. I think I'm starting to really lose steam on Freddie Peralta. I think I'm starting to lose hope in that guy. He obviously he could bounce back. He has, chance to bounce back and prove to us that he is, a reliable ace. But man, I'm losing more hope every start, and I'm starting to get very concerned that we might have to, after giving up our future pieces, that we might have to ship him off, or we might have to consider moving him. It's like that's not a good luck on the general manager at all either. And we're not going to talk about Stearns. Enough talking about him. It's just very unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate. So that'll be my Kip
Yeah,
Banner for the weekend. And Ronnie, I don't know about you, hard hat winners or Kip Banners?
I'm gonna give hard hat to Juan Soto again. I think I gave
Yes,
it to him last time. He
yes,
continues to be hot, so
Grand
I
Slam.
can't. Yeah, the grand slam yesterday was the nail in the coffin. David Peterson. I'm gonna give him also because
Okay,
he got the four inning save yesterday, and that concluded the series, which they swept with authority. They said, "Nah,
that was
this
a
is
statement win for the
yeah,
ball club,
exactly."
for the
Um,
clubhouse.
yeah, and the Kepena Award, I agree with you. I think we gave it to him last time too, or I did.
Yes.
I can't remember if I think it was him. Um, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. Hard hat will definitely go to Juan Soto. I mean, my goodness, he is worth every penny. I don't know how much we paid him, but it feels like a bargain at this point. Just incredible player. And I'm not gonna. Mark Simeon had a great weekend as well, but I'm not. He is like a Mark Vientos to me. He's just so on and off as a player. It kind of frustrates me. So we're gonna go back to the weekend one more time, but later in the episode. Moving on to Seattle, I just want to touch up. I'm going to be honest with you. If Juan Soto is going to look an MVP, he has 49 home runs against interleague games. So he definitely is a nightmare for opposing pitchers that are not used to seeing him more than 4 or 5 times a year. Um, I'm under the impression that we might be able to win at least just one game, but I don't see us win the series simply because the Mets, as great as a weekend it was, the Mets have shown this year that their offense is very inconsistent outside of Juan Soto. And until the Mets show me offensively that they're very consistent, I trust their pitching. Like our pitching is not an issue. If they have one or two bad starts, usually the pitching picks up. And when we lose, a lot of the time, the number one complaint is our offense didn't provide more than 2 runs for our pitchers, and our pitchers are not really that much of an issue. I think at least every week, maybe our pitchers are like, they're a liability for like 2 out of like the 6 games in the week, right?
yeah.
So I have faith in the pitching. Um, Also, I believe Tong or Manaya might end up starting, and that's a risk against Seattle. But until our offense shows consistency, I can't. It's hard for me to believe that we're gonna have winning series consistently against like now like legitimate premier baseball teams in the league. Um, I had mentioned in the last episode, but I'll say it again. Looking into June, we're playing Seattle. We're
Hmm.
okay at Seattle, at the Padres, home versus St. Louis, home versus the Braves, at Cincinnati, then it's Philadelphia, then it's Chicago, and we're gonna end it with Toronto going into July. And I believe at the Toronto, I think it's the Braves, like right before that MLB
No, no, no,
break.
no, no. I have the schedule right here.
Show me.
Mariners, San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
both of them at. Then
Yeah, it's just game
uh,
road trip.
what's it called? Then the Cardinals, the Braves, the Reds, the Phillies, the Cubs, then the Phillies again, and then Toronto.
So I missed that other series. So Philadelphia twice.
Yeah.
So if you combine all all their records together, it's at 550 roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
that we're playing against winning ball clubs, if you want to say that, right? I
They're
guess if you
all
if you want to be very technical, I guess we saw the Reds. We could probably get our lick back after losing 2 out of 3 to them, and maybe the Phillies. I mean, they're not a great ball club, but I mean, they seem to get it together and they're turning it around. But I mean, they're still a 500 ball club. So outside of that, it's a tough month. Do you think, Ronnie, that at the end of June, you're gonna say that we're back or we have to sell?
No, I think we can say we're back if they can double what they did this month. Meaning they went 16 and 12, 22. Whoa, 16
16 and
and 12.
12. That
Yeah,
was
16.
April.
Yeah.
April, they lost everything in April.
16 and 12. If they can duplicate that this month, I think they'll be in line. They'll be hovering just over 500, I believe. They'll be what, 42 and 45. Well, they'll still be 3 games
It's under
below.
500, but we're there. We're a series away.
Yeah. I
Mm,
want them to be hovering over 500 before July, because July, those are the dog months.
yeah,
Um,
July and
and
August.
yeah, those are the rough months right before the playoff runs, and it'll determine whether or not they're buyers or sellers. So I think it is possible. I think we're going to start getting some pieces back into the lineup and some
Polanco.
pitchers back. Yeah,
Polanco's coming back,
I
and
think Alvarez might be coming back too.
he might. That's a question mark. It's again, it's a tricky injury with him with the meniscus because he's a catcher. The
Yeah,
meniscus, you gotta treat. It's almost like a hamstring injury for
right.
catchers because they're constantly squatting. They're constantly their motion is not natural. So you need that meniscus to be 100%, or you're gonna be back on the IL. So it's a very
Yeah.
risky. So it's yeah, it's hopeful. I mean, I've heard that he looks pretty good. And he's fantastic, but I believe it was Keith Hernandez on
So
broadcast. He said that it's tricky.
Alvarez is starting rehab next week or
Hmm.
this week. So that's a good sign. As I think everything is looking good for him already. He's already taken swings.
Hopefully mid June. Hopefully he comes
Yeah,
back
and
latest.
Lewis Robert Jr.
No,
I don't think
forget
he's
it.
coming back
Forget
this
about
year.
that. No,
Who
no.
did we sign last year that got injured and didn't even come back? We had signed someone, and that keeps happening with these guys.
Yeah, it's
They
weird.
get hurt during the year, and then
Didn't happen to Verlander once. Didn't we sign him and he was out for like the whole season? Or it was Scherzer? It was one of them too. I forget. I feel like it was Verlander. But there was yeah. This happens to that's the thing with the Mets. It just feels like we're like an scapegoat for a lot of veterans. If they want to get like a high contract, they come to the Mets. They get paid and then
yeah,
they're gone for like all the season.
yeah.
Very weird. It's a very strange. It's like
Uh,
almost ironic, but
nonetheless,
very
I think
frustrating.
nonetheless, I think if the Mets can come out on top this month again, they
Hmm.
could they could easily be buyers and trade away pieces, or make the moves that they desperately need to make to try to make that playoff push.
Okay.
The problem is I'm just gonna say real quickly, I don't know who we would give up to try to get some help to make those playoff runs, because the Mets are desperately needing young
Yeah.
guys on that ball club, and we can't be giving away homegrown players or players
No.
that are ready to
No.
come up and
No.
for rental
You're gonna have to give up
for
the whole farm
rental.
system.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give up the home farm system to get the necessary help to make a deep run. But with the Mets luck, I mean, at this point, if you want to play an analytics game, our chances of these players being healthy is not great. So I wouldn't run the risk, honestly.
I think that if the Mets, all right, let's again real quick for
Yeah.
June. Mets, if they can't make it out of this month, uh, become sellers and rebuild again. Just rebuild around Juan Soto.
Yeah, I would.
Trade away the pieces that they picked up during the offseason, because obviously those moves didn't help, and June is going to be very telling of that. If you can't beat bad teams, you can
Imagine
you
good teams.
I can't expect them to beat good teams.
Imagine good teams. That's what I'm scared of. I'm what I'm more afraid of, Ronnie, is at the end of June, we're kind of in the middle where you don't fire Mendoza. You're not selling, but you're also not in any race yet. Like right now, it feels like no man's land for the Mets right now. 7 games under 500. You're not you're not garbage, but you're not even at the door yet to knock on wild card spot. So it's just a weird position to be in. And like I always said, if you didn't fire Mendoza, the last 3 times you could have done it early in the season, you're not gonna fire Mendoza unless it's time to like just break everything apart and just start fresh. I would imagine that's what you do, but I don't see it happening. I think the Mets are gonna finish 500. Actually, I think we might end up finishing like 1 or 2 games under 500. I could see us being in the 10 to 7 games under 500 range. And again, that's because of our inconsistency with our offense. It's hard. It's. I'm hopeful that I'm wrong. I'm not gonna be one that's always gonna say no. Like, trust me, guys. Like, I know what I'm saying. No, like, I hope to be wrong, but I'm talking with my eyes and like not the delusion. Looking at the roster, it is really hard to be consistent. Like, it's harder for me to put faith into this offense. Is what I'm trying to say. And against good pitching, I just don't see it. I fear that this month we're gonna see a lot of like one run games on our end where we're just not scoring. And it's gonna be frustrating. And it's gonna be Soto, the one that's scoring. And also a lot of pressure on Soto. He can't get injured. I'm very scared that he might get hurt. And if he gets hurt, season's done. Like, we're dead. We're dead. It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna get ugly out there. So that's what I think that is gonna happen in June. Real quick, Ronnie, Juan Soto in May, 281 batting average, 10 home runs, 21 RBIs, 14 walks, 5 stolen bases, an OPS of 984. That is, I mean, that's video games. That's MLB the show. That's video game numbers. It's incredible. And I just want to remind everybody, especially Met fans out there, if you're watching, ignore everyone that says he should have chosen the other team. He should have stayed somewhere else. He should have this or that. Enough of that. We have Juan Soto, and he is a generational talent. Enjoy what he's giving to us. Okay, just enjoy his talent. Enjoy the fact that he chose us and he's playing with us, because it is truly special what we're watching with Juan Soto right now. He is an incredible hitter. You legitimately fear if he's not on your team, you fear when he's on the base. It's kind of how I feel with Aaron Judge and with Shohei Ohtani when they're at the plate. I'm just like I have fear. I'm like, this is a hard out. That's Juan Soto, and that's very special to have on your team. So, Ronnie, over the past weekend, we actually had another significant addition to our Hall of Fame. So the Mets on, what was it, Saturday?
Friday.
Friday. So we inducted Valentine into the Hall of Fame. And I mean, if you're a Mets fan and you don't know who that is, I mean, oh my goodness, I don't think you are a legitimate Mets fan. He got inducted to our Hall of Fame, and I just want to ask you, Ronnie, how you felt about that, because he is probably the reason why I became a Mets fan, if I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you the one and the only memorable moment that I remember as a child that said, I like this. This is awesome. But before I say it, Ronnie, share your thoughts, share any memories what you had with good old Bobby and the ball club and the iconic 2000s Mets team.
Yeah, I think he means a lot to the ball club. Not only the ball club, but the fans. The guy was straight up funny, and he was hard nosed too. He was. You can just tell the kind of coach he was. He gave us hope. They reached the World Series back in 2000 with him. I think they made the wild card in 1999, or they made it as a
Nine,
1999,
yeah.
and they made it as a wild card team in 1999. Um, Nonetheless, I think everybody remembers him as the disguise in the dugout when he got
Yes.
ejected from the game and he came back, and I
Yes.
think that's what was the celebration on Friday. Yeah, I mean, I won't say that he's the reason why I became a Mets fan. I have my reasons why,
Hmm.
but he is a big part of, uh, I guess, my childhood as a Mets
We
fan.
what I remember with Bobby is that he won more games than lost. He is the first manager in Mets history that guided the Mets to back-to-back postseasons, 99 and 2000. And obviously 2000 was the big one and came up short in the World Series. But 536 wins and 467 losses, a winning record in his time with the Mets. And when I think of the black Mets jersey, which drew attention, like I was drawn to that as a child. I still have
Oh
the black
yeah.
Mike Piazza jersey. When I think of the Mets black jersey, when they brought it back, the first people I thought of right away, Mike Piazza, Franco, Bobby Valentine.
Hmm.
And I loved Bobby, and obviously the disguise. I remember watching as a kid and just seeing that moment unfold, I could not stop laughing. Like, if you think about it today, when someone gets ejected and they show up with the silly sunglasses and the mustache and it's a disguise, and it's just like, I'm not Bobby. and they're just in the dugout trying to manage, but like acting like security. I mean, if you watch that, that has to be. I don't care what you say. That is a top 10 like most funniest moments in like for sure baseball, but in sports in general, that definitely that memory is like so iconic because it's just so. Imagine anyone other sport getting ejected and they're back on the bench wearing a disguise that is probably costs like $1 at the Dollar General. It is just it's ridiculous, and I loved him since then. I'm like I love this guy. So big deal for the Mets franchise. He got into our Hall of Fame. Next time we ever go to City Field, obviously he might have his plaque, or they might have a whole area just dedicated to him. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And again, it's awesome because we're now in a situation, Ronnie, that people that are getting acknowledged are these I would say icons in our franchise, but like just these figures that are inducted to a Hall of Fame in our lifetime are now being put in like our history, and like we could like people say, "Damn, like I remember him," and
No,
or like
no.
I watched this, and it's just
Yeah,
we're at that stage now.
that
It's
yeah, we're at that
crazy.
stage that we're just saying, "Holy shit, we're
Yeah,
old."
yeah. That's the best way to say that we're getting old, and I accepted it. I accepted it years ago, man. So
Speaking of that, when Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera retired, yeah, that's when I felt it.
oof.
That's
Yeah.
when I felt it.
Yeah. 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 Honestly, yeah. Those were, dude. We had such a great childhood. Honestly, that steroids era. I remember like the way they smacked the baseballs everywhere. It was just stupid. I call it I'm sorry. I call it steroids era because you know that
Yeah,
everyone
but
was.
Albert
Albert
Pujols wasn't
wasn't.
part of that.
Albert wasn't.
Neither was Miggy. Neither was
Never. No, no,
Miggy.
no. They're just natural. They're just natural studs. But I'm just saying that, like, at their peak, you also had other behemoths hitting the ball
Oh
600
yeah, of
feet.
course.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. So okay. So just a quick recap. We already said that you're optimistic that we're not selling just yet. That you think we're gonna be back, and hopefully being within the 3 game range. You said at the end of June.
We didn't come
They
up
get
with
hot.
this. We didn't come up with the slogan. You gotta believe for no reason.
That's true. Delusion. Delusion. You gotta believe. And we're the Amazings.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we're missing here besides we reviewed Valentine and we were quick over the recap. I talked a little smack to. I'm in a chat. I talked a lot of smack to some Marlins fans this past week, and I was making AI pictures. I can't post them for reasons we might get canceled by PETA, I believe. But you could imagine it was Mr. Men in the kitchen, and he was serving everyone fresh Marlin and and a broom and throwing out the. I had fun over this past weekend, and I just want to let everyone know. I encourage people here in Miami because I truly do miss living in a baseball city. But I encourage everyone if Miami's for whatever reason you get hope and you get joy out of kicking the Mets ass, sure. At least you guys are talking about baseball, and you already know how I feel about the Marlins. I feel like they're kind of irrelevant in baseball, but that being said, I also live in Miami, and I kind of want baseball to kind of grow here, so I could talk about baseball with a lot of people. I feel like I'm alone here. Or I don't know
Yeah.
about you,
It's not a
Ronnie.
baseball. It's not
It's
a
not a
baseball
baseball
city
at
at
all.
all.
I don't see it too much. So
No.
I like a little smack talk. I miss those days talking smack with Yankee fans. You know, but I had my fun over this past week, especially given we got swept last weekend. It just felt good to like have a swing back. So again, thank you Mets, thank you Juan Soto. Um, any final
Word.
thoughts, Ronnie? I feel like we're missing something, but we'll probably
My
come
final
back.
thoughts is that even though I said that if they come out of this pretty good, they may be buyers, but what this weekend did was just showed proof of life. It's not proof of contention just yet. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I'm not too convinced yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my final thoughts is just keep the momentum going.
Hmm.
And if this is gonna be a momentum ridden team in our offense, what they showed this weekend, we could carry that through the week, and maybe if we finish next 6 games on the West Coast, if we finish 3-3, I feel like okay, you know what? I think this team could actually turn it around. I think that they're within striking range. I think they're 1 or 2 series wins away from being like okay, we're back. That's a tall task, though, to win 3 games in San Diego and 3 games. And for some reason, I feel like when we play San Diego, we don't win, but we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
it's that's
Tough
probably the
team.
toughest one. That game, that series, and against the Braves at City Field are the toughest
The
ones
Braves just
coming up.
scares me. I hate playing at Atlanta. I feel like when I
No,
watch
but
them
they're
at
playing.
Atlanta,
I believe they're playing at home.
well, yeah,
So,
yeah, you're right. They are.
um, yeah, if the Mets make some moves because they've been making some crazy roster moves
Yeah,
lately.
insane. Tobias Myers, he's not coming back for 2 weeks unless someone gets hurt.
I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done. The way they're playing, what's it called? I think I said a few weeks ago, if this was the Yankees, if this was Steinbrenner's Yankees team,
Hmm.
he wouldn't take this at all.
No,
Everything that's going, he will
no,
call for moves to be made,
people
and
got
I
fired
think,
a month ago.
yeah, and I think I don't agree with holding on to Mendoza,
Hmm.
but the roster moves that they're making, I think they're showing that they do care, just
Yeah,
a tiny bit, just a tiny bit.
yeah.
But let's see what happens.
Let's see. Um, yeah, those are my final thoughts right there, and I totally agree with you. We got to see what they do. So we're gonna remove ourselves a little bit from the Mets. We already done covering the Mets for now and for the future. It's a special edition time, Ronnie. I think it's a special time. We need to discuss it because you don't see the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, and I know the city's buzzing right now. I've heard
Hmm.
that if you're wearing a Knicks
Man, I
jersey,
wish I
people
was
are like high
there.
fiving you and honking you. It's ridiculous. I
I
had people
wish I
reach
was
out to
there.
me saying congrats, and I'm like, dude, I'm a net. Like I like. I'm sorry, I like the net. I'm happy for not happy, but like that's dope. The Knicks are. I could imagine the city, but like come on, man, I'm not a Knicks fan. So, but I feel like we need to talk about this real quick because this is a special time for this city, and it does have my attention. San Antonio Spurs, what a win in OKC, and I just want to give a quick shout out and all my love to Wemby. It's not that I wanted the Spurs to win. Is that I just despise watching OKC play ball, Ronnie. I don't know if you've seen this. If you've gone on Twitter, I don't know if you have the time, but if you see what people say about OKC and see the
Hmm.
amount of hate they get from
Yeah.
the flops, from everything, they are legitimately ruining basketball, and I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. And for them to get eliminated by the alien Wemby, it was such a beautiful sight to see. I was genuinely shocked that they pulled it off. And now you have the Knicks against the Spurs, and I just feel like I get to like sit back and actually enjoy watching basketball for once, and not have so much like hate and tension against the sport. Because I'll be honest with you, I have not like, been liking basketball for the last couple of years. It's not because the Nets are trash. Okay, I'll still watch the Nets. I'll still support the Nets. Is that the way the league is played today and the way Silver has designed the sport and the midseason cup and all this extra bullshit? I am not a fan. I sound like an old head complaining about, the sport wasn't played like this 20 years ago. No, I did not like watching basketball. But this final it has all the makings to be very special. Ronnie, I'm gonna ask you a very simple question, and then I'm gonna ask for your, and then you could tack on that, and talk about what you want to say about the finals. Who do you got? Spurs or Knicks? I
I
have to
got the
ask.
Knicks. I got the Knicks. Of course, I got the Knicks. I don't watch basketball. I'm not a huge basketball fan. I have I have very small, little memories
Okay.
watching Knicks games. The last one I remember, obviously they made the playoffs last year. They had made the playoffs about 10 years ago,
With
2014
Melo.
or 2013, 2012. I can't even remember. And then the Linsanity run. Those are
Oh
my
man. Oh man.
most recent memories of the Knicks.
Damn man,
But
you've been gone for a
obviously,
while. You know who Brunson is,
yeah,
right?
yeah, of course I know who that is. He's playing with his college buddies.
There you go.
What's it called? What's it called?
Hey,
Yeah, no,
I'll
huh?
tell you what, Ronnie, real quick. I'll tell you what. If you know who Brunson is and you don't watch basketball as much as as much as you like, that lets you know how big Brunson is. Like he's a big fucking deal in New York. It's apologies
Of
for
course.
language, but he is the toast of New York right now. He
He
owns that city.
whenever a team in New York, obviously the media is going to praise you. They're also going to try to bring you down. So that's
Obviously,
all
yep,
you see:
yep,
praise and the fall,
yep.
or trying to when a star comes to New York or goes to New York. I just wish I was there only because I remember when the Mets made the World Series in 2015, man, the city was buzzing.
Oh,
And obviously,
yeah,
as a fan, you enjoy that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Unfortunately, obviously, I live in Miami now. So, not unfortunately, but I'm not there to witness that. My brother is, and our cousin Manny is, George,
George,
our
I was gonna
cousin
say
George is.
me.
Yeah. They're there right now, and I know they're hype
Oh, I can imagine.
because
Yeah, man.
they're true Knicks fans. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
got Knicks. I got
okay.
Knicks in six.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, Ronnie. There's gonna be a lot of storylines. You got Wemby when he played in the Garden for the first time. They asked him post game, and he said it's not as big as I thought it would be. Just throwing shots at the New York, which is I love. I'm sorry, I love that. I love his cockiness. And I will say one thing too about Wemby. The media has painted this picture that he is just this incredible, like wow player, and like he can't do no wrong. If you watch him play, he could be evil and malicious, man. Like he's thrown elbows. He's a dirty player. But
Would you say that's like when the Knicks faced the Pacers and you had what was his name, Reggie Miller?
kind of, you could say that, kind of. I wouldn't say it's like like every player
It's
we're
not
gonna.
that just
It's not
because
like
there's
that,
no
yeah, because
rivalry.
it's a
There's no
different sport,
rivalry.
right?
Yeah,
But
different era.
but he did throw elbows. He almost knocked someone out, and he's told his teammates to go hurt certain players when he's on the bench out of frustration. He is an emotional player. He cares, and I love that. The sport needs that. But because
Hmm.
he cares so much, also he's willing to play dirty. And I think if they're gonna play dirty or they're gonna reach that level, that's gonna help the Knicks. That's an advantage because that shows weakness. Okay,
Yeah,
the Knicks have shown composure, and that's gonna be play a big part. Because you could say, because I could tell you right now, Ronnie, the Spurs don't have experience. They're learning right now, and look where they are right now. They're not supposed to be here, but they're here, and Wemby's here. You could say the same thing about the Knicks. A lot of those players have not been in the finals, but you know what, Ronnie? They're playing composed, and that's all credit to Mike Brown. And if you're gonna come to the emotions of it, I think the Knicks have an advantage there, and that's gonna really power them to win out some of these tough games. And if they're gonna be tight games, you have Jalen Brunson, and there's another headline: Wemby, the alien, tall freak, versus David, the small little, like it's so small yet so large in character in the city, and he is a clutch player, the ultimate clutch player for the Knicks. And the Knicks, for the most part, they have not lost over a month. They're on an 11-game win streak right now. They're just killing teams. And I know you could debunk the debate that, oh, the Knicks play nobody. If you look in NBA history, Ronnie, I'm going to tell you this one last stat. NBA history, the New York Knicks, okay, have not, in their 11-game win streak, they have blown out teams at a combined of 175 or more against every other team in NBA history, regular season and playoffs, that has had an 11-game win streak has not had the margins that the Knicks have been winning. Meaning they've killed teams more than the 96 Bulls, the 2017 Warriors, the 2012 Heat, when they had a 26-game win streak, I believe. They were not blowing these teams out like this. They weren't. The Knicks are killing playoff teams.
and it's
And that's
playoffs. Yeah, it's
all
the
right.
playoffs.
And you could say it's Cleveland. You could say it's Philadelphia. And they're playing these teams after playing 7-game series.
But they're
I
there for a
will,
reason.
they're there for a reason. And I will counter that too and say, well, you know what? Their opponent, they're not playing with their food. They're not playing with their food. They're going for it. And they're just killing these teams. And these teams, they're making teams tap out before halftime.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter who you're playing, you got to give the Knicks respect. And I'm sure the Spurs know that. They're going to respect that. They know that. After saying all of this, I have reason to believe. I said if it's going to be OKC in the finals, unfortunately, I think they're going to win in 6 or 7 games. But because it's the Spurs, I hate to say it. Okay, I hate to say it because I don't want it, but I don't let my emotions blockade my thoughts and my process of my predictions. I think the Knicks are going to win in 6 games, and that sixth
Yeah.
game is going to be a special night in New York City because it's going to be at the Garden. I think they get the job done, and that's going to be a sight to behold. I do fear for your brother Ronnie because he's going to be at the Garden, I'm sure, and the city's going to burn down,
Yeah.
and it's
I might just make a trip over there.
for the
Just saying.
parade. I can't
Just for the
imagine. I
parade.
cannot
Yeah.
imagine what's going to happen. Let let's see what happens. Listen, PSG stopped Arsenal from obnoxious Arsenal fans destroying everything in soccer and having a ridiculous summer. Let's see if the Spurs, Wemby being French, let's see if another French, someone from France, is going to stop the Knicks from a crazy summer in New York City and stopping Knicks fans from the seriousness that they actually might win a championship. So
Yeah.
Knicks in 6, you agree? Knicks in 6?
Knicks in
Knicks,
6. Yep.
I think Knicks will win. We just spent 10 minutes talking about it, but it's a special time. We got to talk about it because this is a very special NBA final. Like even I'm excited to watch it. It's
Yeah.
awesome to see. We cannot wait. If you're listening on audio, thank you for listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment, please, guys. We love everyone that's listening. We appreciate you guys. Send us some feedback. Till next time, Ronnie. LFGM. LFGM.
Adios, LFGM. Adios.